must be Santa. Is that how you say your name?
Yes, Santa.
Santa. Is that what you prefer for me to call you?
I prefer you call me Sandy.
Sandy?
Mm-hmm.
Sandy it is. It's nice to meet you, Sandy.
Thank you.
So what, Sandy, can we, what is it that I can do for you today? What brings you here today to visit with me?
About 7 months ago, I lost somebody that was very dear to me.
Really? Okay. Would you care to talk? Is this loss, was it a loss that is giving you kind of an uneasy feeling even now, even though it's been 7 months?
It's haunting me. I haven't been able to, I'm struggling with the way that my friend died.
Okay.
We were very close. She's my neighbor. And I was aware that she was suffering from depression. We spoke often. And she had attempted suicide once with pills. And my husband was able to revive her and call 911. And then she spent some time, she was admitted after the first attempt, and she spent some time in a psychiatric hospital. And then she came home. She was released after a week. And we didn't speak after she came home from the hospital. I think that she was embarrassed with what she had done.
Okay.
And she was struggling with that. My last contact with her was when she came home and she came out the car. And I gave her a hug just to reassure her that everything was going to be okay.
Okay.
And we didn't speak for a couple of days. I mean, we would see each other because our homes are close to each other, so we would say hello to each other, but we didn't speak. And then a couple of days later, she went missing, and she had a roommate at the time.
Okay.
And roommate came over to ask if we had seen her, and I hadn't seen her, and my husband hadn't seen her that day. She was supposed to go to the hospital. She was doing outpatient, and she never showed up to the hospital. So I went to her home. I asked the neighbor if she had searched the home, her roommate if she had searched the home, and her roommate had said yes, but I searched anyway.
Okay.
And I went to the basement. And the basement was very dark, and I was familiar with the basement. I was familiar with the setup in the basement because I had helped her a year ago clean out her basement. And it was dark, and I kept calling her name. And I knew, I felt that she was in there, but something drew me out.
Okay, now when you say you felt that she was in there, you meaning you felt within you, yourself, that she was in there as a result of having committed suicide?
Yeah.
You did feel that?
I felt it.
Okay.
And I wanted so much, to go in, but something kept pulling me back. And so I didn't finish the search, and I left the basement, and I went back home, and my husband, who happens to be a police officer, asked me if I had done a thorough search of the basement. And I said no, that I had just walked in midway. And later that evening, her daughter came home and she found her. She hung herself. And she was in the basement.
And she was in the basement. Okay. Now, so what happened to was the roommate around that day?
She was in the house. She was upstairs. She says she was searching upstairs. I was downstairs. When I left the house, I told her I didn't go all the way into the basement.
Okay.
If she doesn't come home, because a part of us we were hoping that maybe she had gone out for a walk, or and that she would come back. So I told her roommate, if she doesn't come back, call the police, because this was already 7 o'clock at night, and she was supposed to be at her appointment at 9 in the morning, and she hadn't shown up, and she wasn't answering her phone. Her purse was in the house, her telephone. It wasn't like her to ever leave her house without her personal belongings, especially her telephone. She was known to always have her telephone with her. So we found that kind of odd, but we thought maybe she was close by. She was taking a walk, and she would come back home.
Now you went, well, first of all, I need to say to you that I'm making notes, because the notes kind of help us keep on track with what it is we are hoping to accomplish in these sessions. So I'm just jotting down some notes. I hope you don't mind that. Just to kind of make sure that we are doing, on the track where you are. So let me understand. So you went into the basement alone?
I did.
You went alone?
It was just two of us.
And how did you feel going in alone?
I was scared.
Scared of what you were going to find? Mm-hmm. Okay. And when you walked out, you said you went back home. What were you feeling inside? What were you feeling when you went back to your house? When you said your husband asked you, did you do a thorough search? When you will walk that distance between your house and her house, what was on your mind? What was in your heart?
Did she have committed suicide? There was no reason for her to live anymore. She was really sad. She had financial problems, and she was getting ready to lose her home, and she couldn't cope. I think she felt embarrassed that she had failed herself, and I knew that after the first event, after taking the pills, I knew that she would recover.
Now, okay, so you knew that she wouldn't recover. Was she able to share the reasons for her depression with others, or was it just you?
She only spoke. Ironically, she only spoke to me because she did have a best friend. And so, her best friend Patty was aware of some things, but she wasn't aware of anything. I mean, all the things. And her daughter certainly had no clue, because she had asked me over and over again not to speak to her daughter about what was going on. So a part of me, when I walked out, I knew she was gone. And maybe that was, I don't know, her way of pushing me out of that basement so I wouldn't be the one that found her. I felt guilty that I didn't send my husband back, because a part of me was like, well, because she has still been alive, and maybe we could have saved her. So that haunts me, because I didn't know when she did it.
But
I didn't know if she had...
If Christina needs healing, it's true, but you need healing within yourself. So if it's okay with you, I would like to, continue having our sessions, and let's work through this and help you get to the point where you can let not Donna go. Don't ever let your friend go, but the circumstances of her death and the part that you think you could have played. We have to get to the bottom of that and get over that so that you can go on and live life and be happy that you had Donna in your life as a neighbor, as a friend. Is that okay with you?
It's okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Sandy. Really, I mean it. You gotta let that go, girl. You couldn't have done anything for her. Because she didn't even really let you know that she needed help.
I know.
All right, I think that was good. Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.